speaking the truth is never easy.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall out with good friends speaking the truth, telling it like it is. You're gonna fall out. You're gonna get ostracized, from your own church. Your kids might stop talking. For you being honest and speaking the truth. That's a road seldom traveled, man. And it's just that I told myself no matter what, that I was gonna, not speak just my truth. I was gonna speak, I was gonna speak my mind, and it's gonna go against a lot of, people. They want you to be quiet. They want you to, hush. They don't want you to speak on. So but I'm not gonna be quiet. If I'm not gonna be invited to every function. I might, get stopped in the middle of doing some, So it's just I told myself, no matter what, I don't want to be in no poetry cliques. I don't want to be in no cliques at all. If it's gonna cost me, if I have to water down my message, God gives me, no matter what. And it's already like that. I already know. It's happening now, but it is what it is, man. And so that's where the name Brave Nathan, because I'm willing to not be a part of whatever in order for me to, God gonna bless me, and nobody else is, what He got for me is for me. So I'm not depending on nobody else to be no blessing to me.
Tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap in with me, being with me, being with me, being with me, being with me. Tap in with me, being with me, being with me, being with me.
Yo, we get that mic hot, then we let that mic drop. Yeah, mic drop, mic drop. We get that mic hot, then we let that mic drop. Yeah, mic drop, mic drop. Ooh.
Tap in with me, being with me, being with me, being with me. Tap in with me, being with me, being with me, being with me.
Mic drop,
Tap
mic
in
drop,
with me,
mic
being
drop,
with me,
mic
being with
drop.
me, being with me, being with me, being with me.
This is the mic drop with B. Anderson, and we are back again. It's season 2, and we here with a very special guest. I call him, he like a big brother, the OG, slam champion, Brave Nate. How you doing, man?
B. Anderson, been waiting.
Yeah, man, yeah. How you been doing? You've been all over the place. You've been slamming all over the country. Just doing your thing. You winning. You've been in Vegas. You've been in Louisville. I just seen you about to be heading back to Baltimore. So how you just finished up at Southern Fried. So how you been doing?
Man, I'm trying to soak it all up, man. And I'm like we were just you just said earlier before this even started. I'm learning as I go, man, and I'm just trying to stay busy. I'm trying to figure out what's the best place to go, what's worth my time, what's not worth my time. I'm trying to I'm saying I can't quit my day job yet. It's not bringing in money like that, but the experience and the people I've been meeting is well worth it, man. So I'm just I'm still trying to figure out some things, man. I'm just I'm finding out things day by day by day, man. So
Well, before we dive into the conversation, I just wanted to say, and I said it off camera, but I just wanted to say it on camera that I really appreciate just the support that you've shown me. Don't nobody know, but Nate was the first person, and I just actually look back at it. Like, I started doing a mic drop late in February. A month later, he was the first person to ask for an interview. So when I say this is a year overdue, definitely a year overdue. He tapped in, wanted to jump on before I was even established. Like, I had only interviewed 4 people. I had only posted 4 videos. And to me, that's the true definition of support. More than just buying something or more than listening to something. But somebody that actually want to come on and enhance your platform, come on and tell their story, because this bigger than me. This about the guests that come on and share their stories. And so, I'm going to turn it over to you, bro?
When I first, I mean, it was like, it looked like, I said, I had known you had just started or whatever, but it just, and I know you said, you was learning as you go also, but it looked like you was, to me, it looked like you was doing a pretty good job already, man. And
I appreciate it.
I mean, it's cool that, you already had a lineup, you had things going, man. You didn't say, well, I'm going to let you cut this person and that, you know what I'm saying? You said what you said about, in the order of how you was doing things, and, I respected that. I didn't expect anything less. And, but, we've had countless conversations in between, man, you know what I'm saying? And not just about poetry stuff. We talk about sports.
Yeah.
We talk about all, you know what I'm saying? So we've had a, pretty good friendship over the last year. And plus, it gave, the weight gave more to talk about, today, man. I've accomplished so much since then, man. And, wins and losses and everything, man. But it's just like, here we are today, man. This ain't going to be my last interview, I'm pretty sure, man.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, I said it in my previous interview, sometimes waiting is the best thing. Good things come to those who wait. So, diving right in, what was it that initially made you get into poetry? Like, because like you were OG, so when, like, how old were you? When did you discover that, man, I love doing poetry?
Well, man, listen, I'm a fan of hip hop. Hip hop, I'm 49. So, hip hop is only about a year or two older than me.
Yeah.
So I grew up, love, love, I'm saying, I'm a lover of music, period. But, hip hop was it was totally different from everything else. So just growing up, I never wanted to be a rapper. I never wanted to be a poet. I love rapping and everything. I have my favorite artists, favorite genres, favorite, so on and so forth. But I didn't get into poetry, man. I used to watch Def Poetry Jam and everything, but I still wasn't, I respected artists and but it's like, this is nothing that I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? So my church, the church I was a part of back in like 99, they was talking about, they was about to have a poetry night. I wrote a couple of poems before when I was in high school. I've soaked up so much rapping that it was just like, I should be able to do this. I should be able to, I wrote a couple of poems in high school, but, I didn't really do nothing with them. I didn't do nothing with them. Like, I just kept them on my, piece of paper folded up for a very long time. I wish I could find those today, man. It's been so long ago. That was in the 90s. But I was like, I wrote some poetry before our church's open mic, man. And, back then, because I was in church really heavy. Yeah. And it was all church-based stuff, man. So, and this was 2000 when that happened. And it was just like, I didn't do nothing with that. It was just like, I wrote some whatever. So then later on, I didn't really dive into poetry. And I tell this story a lot to people to when, me and my kid's mom had a bad breakup. And it was, terrible, man. So I wrote about my feelings. I wrote how I felt about it, how I felt about her. And, I wrote about 4 or 5 poems about our situation. And after a while, I just got tired of writing about her. You know what I'm saying? So I went in, I started writing about other things. It's a verse in the Bible in Proverbs that said, speak out for those that can't speak for themselves. And I kind of adopted that. And, you know what I'm saying? So I started speaking about things that was going on in church that I didn't like. I just spoke on things, like others being harmed. Like, I spoke out against abortion. I spoke out against being mistreated. Just various little things. And, when I first started doing poetry, I didn't, I wasn't doing no type of cussing or anything. It was all clean. It was, and after a while, I got tired of being labeled as a Christian poet. If you're a poet, you're a poet. You know what I mean? You're an artist, you're an artist. I didn't want to be, and after a while, I started just branching out. I'm like, I'm a man of God no matter what, even if I cuss here or there, that doesn't disqualify me from being a man of God. So then, and I cuss today, but it's like, it's not unnecessary. I don't throw a whole lot of, I don't do that, but I do to get my point across, to talk to certain crowds, I use what I feel is necessary. But, so that's how I started, man. And that was, like I said, that was like 2000, roughly 2000. And here we are today, 2023. I'm still, still right, man.
Hey, you say you're 49 and you grew up in the golden ages of hip hop, and I feel like you blessed. I don't really like to say lucky too often, but
I
I feel like
lucky at all. I never say that. I never say that.
I feel like you blessed, man, just because when I see your stories and things like that, and you playing LL Cool J and you playing artists like that, that's really what I'm listening to. That's what's on my playlist. And I was born in 1990.
Right.
So
he was still going though.
He was.
Yeah, he was
man,
still going.
LL was going when I was in junior high school.
Yeah,
so
he was still,
But with you really getting to see hip hop in its whole evolution and everything,
whole thing.
Who was your favorite hip hop artist growing up?
I can't put it on one. I just cannot.
Because I know you made a post talking like you can't say who the greatest MC is, but your favorite.
You can't. What I'm saying. Then it's just we have to narrow it down to like today I might be in the mood for just EPMD and Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Tomorrow might be Tribe. The other, next it might be Ice Cube. But I'm all over the place, man.
Yeah.
I respect all coast and everything. It all started. We all know it started in New York.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But man, God's spirit is everywhere. So it went from that, and then it traveled to West Coast, South. Now it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I cannot do a top 5. I can't do a top 4. I can't do a top 5. It's just because it's like I feel like it just disrespects so many other artists. I would do a top 10, but even then, still, I just to be fair, I'd have to do a top 20, man. I can't even. I just got too much love and respect. Too many of them are when they do these rankings and stuff, and then you got a lot of the motive for hip hop way back then. It was different then. It was, what I'm saying, versus now, the way it's done. I'm a purist, but I have respect for a lot of these newer. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, there are beats and there are lyrics that are still better 30, 40 years ago than there is today.
Yeah.
And they was making beats off of real instruments. They we had less to work with and stuff was still better then, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can go to LL's first album, Eric B. and Rakim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the beats that they using today, it's just like it's so easy to get in there and you can learn how to be a beat maker, man, in no time now. Just we got so many devices.
Yeah.
And back then you didn't have that. So that's where I'm at with hip hop, man.
Okay. I was when I interview people, I'm always going on their pages and looking through stuff, and I seen of course everybody know you as Brave Nate, but I seen some other nicknames on there, man, like something that was kind of like a play on Lex Luthor and
Flex Luthor,
and Darth Vader and Hustle Simmons. And
you can do your homework.
Absolutely. Where did those names come from? Did somebody kind of give you those, or are those kind of names that you made up?
Well, Flex Luthor, if you know anything about comic books, is Lex Luthor.
Yeah, right.
Lex Luthor is Superman's worst foe. Very smart, very intelligent man. One of the most intelligent men on Earth. One of the most richest men on. You know what I'm saying? With just his influence and just he had his hand in everything.
Mm-hmm.
He got what I'm saying. He just so. And then we both bald headed. I'm bald. He bald. I'm he's intelligent. What he's intelligent with. I'm intelligent with. And the things I do.
Yeah.
So it was just it was just alter ego name. A lot of rappers. Biggie Smalls got different names.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Tupac. All the Wu-Tang got multiple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got a different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a nickname.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like why not? Can I? Darth Nader comes from Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I can be just as deadly as he is. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Hustle Simmons.
Yeah.
Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
You know, I hustle. I got more than one hustle.
Yeah.
You know,
You do, man. You do.
He just, you know, he had so many, you know, he started out, you know, with Def Jam but he's done so many other things since then. So, and all of my Facebook pages were under these names. I also had Stilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
Wilt Chamberlain. You know,
yeah,
it's just,
yeah.
you know, Stilt is because I'm skinny.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and then, you know, he was rumored to have, you know, X amount of women. He didn't be, you know what I'm saying, this and that and the third. He was out there with the women, you know, same with me. I had my little, you know, thing over the years, but you know what I'm saying. So every is a rhyme, you know, is a method to my madness, man. I don't just make up stuff and then it don't mean anything. It's some type of meaning to it.
Absolutely.
Always.
So Brave Nate, how'd you get that?
Brave Nate comes from reading the Bible, and God was charging, who was he talking to? It's like after Moses had just died, Joshua, and he was telling him, you know, basically giving him instructions on what to do and how to do it, and he was telling him to be strong, be brave, be courageous. You know, speaking the truth is never easy. You know, you're gonna fall out with good friends speaking the truth, telling it like it is. You're gonna fall out. You're gonna get ostracized. You know, from your own church. You know, your kids might stop talking. You know, for you being honest and speaking the truth. That's a road seldom traveled, man. And you know, it's just that I told myself no matter what. That I was gonna, you know, not speak just my truth. I was gonna speak, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna speak my mind, you know, and it's gonna go against a lot of, you know what I'm saying, people, they want you to be quiet. They want you to, you know, hush. They don't want you to speak on. So I'm, you know, but I'm not gonna be quiet. You know, if I'm not gonna be invited to every function. I might, you know, get stopped in the middle of doing some, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I told myself, you know, no matter what, I don't want to be in no poetry cliques. I don't want to be in no cliques at all. If it's going to cost me, if I have to water down my message, you know, God give me, you know what I'm saying, no matter what. And it's already like that. I already know. It's happening now, but, you know, it is what it is, man. And so that's where the name Brave Nate from, because I'm willing to, you know, not be a part of whatever in order for me to, you know, God gonna bless me, and nobody else is, you know, what he got for me is for me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not depending on nobody else to be no blessing to me.
Yeah, I see on your Facebook, you know, some people, they either with you, they agree with what you're saying, because you touch on some topics that a lot of people either will talk about behind closed doors or at home, or they scared to talk about, but you post it. And that's one thing I respect you for. And me and you done debated on a lot of things, you know, and that's all love, man, at the end of the day, because I love to debate. I'm having fun. You know, we talking about things, it's things that you done taught me, just with debating back and forth, whether it be sports or poetry.
Likewise, I learn from, you know, I look at stuff from people can, you know, I might be hard on without, you know what I'm saying, but people might get me to tilt my head, you know, look at it through a different lens, and, you know, might, you know, change it up a little bit, but, you know, for the most part, you know, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Well, you know, diving deeper into poetry, the first time that I heard you was at Doo-Wop's Cincinnati Poetry Slam in March of 2022. And she had told me, like, man, Nate, you know, Nate, he always competing in the slams and doing things like that. What makes you continue to come back? It seems like Cincinnati like your second home, man. You always here. It's like between doing Doo-Wop's Cincinnati Poetry Slam for a while, you was over with Mo Poetry doing the Hit the Mic Cincy, you know, you was hosting over there. What make you show so much love to Cincinnati? Because for people who don't know, you know, Nate, and you coming straight out of Dayton, so you always down here, man. What's the reasoning behind that?
Man, shoot, poetry. The reason Cincinnati's almost like seemed like second home, because Cincinnati showed me love. I ain't gonna call nothing my home, and the love ain't there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, listen, I've been knowing Doo-Wop for close to 20 years, man. For I met her on the different places when she was with Pimp Hand Strong, when she, when she was slamming, and when it was whatever, just on the circuit, and I remember when she even first started, Doo-Wop's poetry slam or whatever, but it was like I was more so of a I was a poet, but I mainly did open mic. I would get in a slam, but I wasn't prepared for a slam. I would get in, but it was like I hated slam. I just slammed just for the sake of doing some poetry. Mm-hmm. And I thought my stuff was good enough to compete and to win. But I hate it's like I'm so long-winded. 3 minutes and 10 seconds ain't enough for me, man. It was just like I need to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't never like slam, bro. I didn't start really taking slam really serious until last year when I met you at, was that March or April?
It's March.
Okay, March, yeah, that was, and at first I did my poem, I'm a Thief.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, you see, I was reading it off my phone.
Yeah.
And actually, it was just like the response that I got from the people in Cincinnati was so overwhelming. It was like, man, halfway through, I knew I had some good lines in it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that they were going to respond like that. And it swelled something up in me. I was like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, man, that was, what I'm saying? I said, man, I'm and then with the overall, the thing that pushed me over the ledge was meeting Trocon Freeman.
Yeah.
My brother, man.
Yes,
I met him, man. See, poetry has done some wonderful things for me, man. It's had me meet some wonderful people that, I would have never met if I wouldn't have been on the poetry circuit. Mm-hmm. But I met him. He talked to me. Behind the curtain, he was saying, he was just ministering to me, man, and, this, that, and third. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm about to start, I said, man, I'm about to really start, so I wasn't practicing as, I didn't know nothing really, I didn't know the science of slam really like that. I didn't know what, so it was just like, I really wasn't, like I said, I would get in one, but I really wasn't, prepping like I do today. Like, I practice all day, every day now. If I got headphones, while I'm listening, while I'm at work cutting hair, I'm listening to my poems when I don't have time to actually get on my phone and read. So I'm listening to my stuff like I'm listening to, Drake or Lil Wayne or what. I'm listening to my own stuff. I'm, rehearsing. So it was just like, Cincinnati, I live in Dayton. I'm Dayton all day long. Cincinnati is the reason why I'm pursuing slam the way that I do today, now.
You mentioned Trocon. This is the second episode in a row, because Brent's talked about just the role that Trocon played in his poetry journey, his young poetry journey. And so, shout out to Trocon. I'm going to have to get him on here because I see that he's really helping a lot of people behind the scenes. And to me, that showed me.
He's like a coach, man. He's a man, I'm trying to listen, man. I don't talk to nobody for an hour or two at a time like I talk to him. We talk about, he just knows so much from, he knows so much, we just, man, it was just, it's like, I sat on the phone with him all day, man. Mm-hmm. If we didn't have nothing else to do, it's just like the conversation is just like I'm soaking up everything. He's helped me change my approach to slam. It's like we slam against each other and he still be coaching me, man.
And that's why, to me, it's bigger than just winning. It's bigger than just winning. He's trying to, help bridge the gap for the next generation. And, Brent's told me that you had went up to his dad after one of the slams and, was talking to him about, how he doing. And you always showing love, and that's something that I
love. Brent's dad, listen, man, his dad doing something my dad ain't doing. And I ain't no disrespect to my dad, but it's just like I love when a father is, got they say, Brent's grown.
Yeah.
You can cut your kids off when you feel like I already did my. Nah, he's still there. Not only did Brent's dad, but his brother. They didn't embrace me. And just to see their family, just to see him, his family. And my family is never, they don't even live here, but I'm just saying, so I can, it's just like just to see somebody's family got they, siblings back, sons back. You know, it's just I love it, man. So he Brits is cool as hell, man. You know, it's just I don't have no hate. You know, toward he's not funny acting. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a good dude. I love his poetry and everything. So it's just like, his daddy's just like, man. I mean, his daddy told me, I'll be your daddy. I was like, bet. I think, but he cooked me good people, man. So it's just like, shit, I don't got no hate in me, man. Nothing but love.
So for you, at that first slam, I'm a thief. That was the first piece I ever heard from you. I don't know if you remember, but after that slam, I hit you up. It was the first conversation I had with you. I messaged you about that piece. And I said, that night, your piece stood out to me. I know that, because of time and, all of that stuff. And
see, I wasn't even, I could told you, slam, I didn't know that it started soon because I was talking before I did my poems. So time already going. So I was like, why they score me? I didn't know all that time. I guess I was still a novice, man. But go ahead.
But that piece, it stood out to me because it was some comedy behind it. And I've shared with Duop on many occasions. I'm like, man, I really want him to embrace that comedic, just that title of being a comedic poet. What made you go that route? Because being a thief is something, and because you kind of touched on this earlier about, touching on things that, a lot of people, they won't go that direction. They won't say this. Being a thief is not a good thing. At all. But you were able to put a comedic spin on it and make it funny, have us laughing. That piece stood out to me that night. And it was the first time for me personally, because for me, I'm 32. I really kind of came on the scene when I was 30. And so I had never heard poetry from a standpoint of making me laugh.
Right.
What made you go that route?
Well, far as a lot of people, all I hear is jokes after, what I'm saying? They kill me. Other poets, people understand, they act like, like I was writing that from my perspective, like I'm the thief. I wrote that because that had happened to me. So I had a really good friend that was stealing from me. You know what I'm saying? But, people, kids steal from their parents. People, we've all had some things that was stolen from us. Some people, we say, like you just said, steal is not a good thing, but you have people that steal all the time. They steal money. Yeah. You got people that steal clothes, and I got a booster. I got, this and that and the third. So it's like, it is to you however you want to perceive it. One minute is a good thing, one minute is a bad thing. Yeah, it's bad, but you got somebody to steal your kids' clothes for you and shoes. You know what I'm saying? And you buy stolen stuff off of people that was stolen. Yeah. So it's just like I just wanted to. I'm a comedian at heart. I'm more so. If you really know me, if you know me, you will know that comedy is more of that comes easier to me than poetry. I work in a barbershop. I've been a barber half of my life. All we do is crack jokes. I get cracked on. I do the cracking. So I don't have no problem getting in front of a crowd. Like it's like I'm a fish in water when it comes to that kind of stuff. It is harder for me to do poetry. It might not look like it now, but I had to, I worked a lot. I've worked, just so on and so. But the I'm a thief thing, it was just, I just brought things to light that, it wasn't funny, but I just put a comedic spin on it. Like you said, you wanted me to, embrace that more so, and that's what I have been doing because it's, everybody's, majority of people's poetry pieces are trauma. Trauma-based, they've been through something, they're going through something currently, some sad, so it's just like, that's, some people are better than others at that. Some people are really good at drama, and I'm not really good with drama. I can talk about some this and that and the third, but when it comes to a female, can't nobody do a drama piece like a female. So I have to do something that, I have to do what's, and it took that piece to realize that that's what I'm really good at. And so now, like, the majority of my poetry pieces from then on are, going to be, comedy based. Because if I can make, a whole room turn around where you done had 7 trauma pieces, and then here I come with the comedy, I didn't change everything.
Yes.
And I've had more success than not with it.
Yeah, it's allowed you to stand out because,
Yeah.
like I said, it was some dope poets that night. You know, that's the first night I heard Ari Lane. First night I heard Galaxy. Right. You know, it was some poets up there that did their thing. You know, Muhammad was up there, but and it's like all of their pieces were fire. You know, I can name some pieces from what they did, but it was just the fact of coming from the comedy standpoint. You know, it wasn't. I wasn't hearing about police brutality. I wasn't hearing about traumas. I'm hearing about something to where, you know, I'm sitting next to Doo-Wop and you know, we looking at each other like, we laughing. We're like, man, hey, this is fire. So, you know, so, yeah, man, it was just something,
and I was reading on my phone, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
that didn't even, you know, I didn't even think about that. It was because the piece was so fire. It didn't matter to me. I didn't even realize that you went over time until afterwards because I asked. I said, why didn't he make it to the second round, man? He had the best piece of the first round. Right. And it was like, it was a time thing. And so, you know, and so I remember talking to Gifted about that. And she had told me, she said, you know, I remember when, you know, Nate was too shy to even look up and engage the crowd and do things. Yeah. You know, and so and I wasn't around then, but to hear these stories about how you've grown and then, you know, because in that first conversation you said, the next time I do the I'm a Thief piece, I won't be reading it off my phone. I'm going to have it memorized. And I remember you coming back, you know, in May and doing it again and the piece being memorized. And then I've seen you when you featured at an open mic last summer at Elements at Doo-Wop's open mic, you had did the extended version of some of your pieces that I had heard before. Right. And I'm like, man, you know, my stomach be hurting, man, after listening to your pieces because I be laughing so hard. So, you know, I really love what you're doing. It's definitely been working for you because even with not winning some of these slams, you've been invited back for features. You know, you've met, like you said, you met some amazing people. So for you, when it comes to poetry slams, at this point in the game, because you said you hated slams, now you're doing them all over the country. For you, what has been the greatest impact of participating in these poetry slams all over the place?
Man, shoot. It's like, you know, I realize, man, slam is gladiator, you know what I'm saying? It's really, you got to, it's, you know, it's like it's playing chess. You got to bring your A game, man. You don't know, you got 3 poems, 3 rounds, man. If you make the wrong decision, you might not make it to the second round. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you might can't save your best poem for last, you know, depending on what poets who went first. You looking at the crowd, you're looking at the judges. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, so you might have to be like, man, these poems I got right here, I don't know. I might have to, you got to have deep pockets, man. You can't just have 3 poems. You don't know if you're going to go in around 4 or 5 or whatever. So it's just like, I'm learning, man. I'm soaking up so much. I'm meeting new people, man, it's so many. I have so many people. Now, every state I done been in, I got somebody's number, man. More than one. Or we keep up with each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, they rooting from me. They rooting for me from another state when I'm posting up scores, you know, by each round, you know. People,
I like when you do that.
You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I post my wins and my losses, man, because, you know, you gon', you know, I don't care how good you are, you gonna lose some slams. You're not going, you know, this ain't no Jordan 6-0 thing. You gonna lose, and it's about humility, man. It's just, hey, man, I lost to, you know, it might not be a better poet, you know what I'm saying, but it's just like sometimes you just, which, you know, how good you think you are, them judges might not feel that way, even though the crowd might feel, you know what I'm saying, but it's like you just have to just, you know, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and just keep it moving, man. So, well, I'm just the people, man. I'm you know, it ain't about the money, because if you add up the money that I put into this versus what I've won, it don't even compare. I'm in the hole, but you know, getting a chance. I'm going to cities and states that some cities I never even heard of, or never. It's like it's just like I only got a few destinations in my mind that I would like to go to travel for vacay, and nowhere I've been to was it. But what I'm saying, just cultural, what I'm saying, just seeing how other cities live and how they dress. It's a plethora of things, man. But the slam scene is a whole nother universe, man. It's a whole nother life, bro. And it's just,
it ain't for the weak.
Yeah, it really ain't. If you gonna be whining and it's the time I done lost. I damn sure shouldn't have lost, man. But you know what? You win some. It's just life, man. You win some, you lose some, and what I'm saying. But it's just like you getting the message out. I might have lost, but that crowd don't think so. That's why they booed the judges. It happens, man. What I'm saying. There's been time where I won where somebody else probably thought that. What I'm saying. It just happens, man. But it's life's lessons, man. I'm meeting wonderful people that I'm glad that I came across. Because of slam poetry. So.
It's interesting because every slam, I've seen you at 7 slams so far. I've seen you at 7 slams. Every single slam, man, it don't matter if you make it to the second round or the third round. You always stay to the end. You always recording everybody. You always, I hear you over on the other side. Let's go, poet. Come on. You hyping everybody up.
I ain't used to be like that though. I ain't, we ain't gonna. I'm gonna just be honest. It's been times where I felt disrespected. This was early on. I felt, what I'm saying. That's a part of also growing. I had to grow up because just because I lost, I might miss out on something else. I might, what I'm saying. I need to stay and mingle. Get to know people, man. Talk to people and this, that, and the third. I can learn something from somebody, man. When you all that. I ain't always did it be. I'm trying to tell you.
But that's what make you an OG though, because you have learned from things. You take constructive criticism as well as anybody who I've personally met, because I remember telling you during that first conversation, I'm like, Gifted was saying like, hey, try doing this or do that, and you like, yeah, man, I'm definitely on it. I'm listening. I've seen you take constructive criticism so many times, and and this is just from my point of view, and it has been an example to me, somebody who young in this, and really just getting into it and seeing it from my own perspective, just seeing how you take, not winning, in the group that we in, sometimes you will feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, it's like, you will look on the bright side. Hey, it's just, I need to get better. It's never playing the blame game, trying to blame somebody else or blame the judges or whatever. Even if they made a bad call, like, you will speak on it, but I never see you dwelling on it.
I'm gonna speak about that day while it's still fresh. I mean, we poets, man. We I'm emotional. What I'm saying? But like I said again, it's been times where, it might have been you, even do up or whatever, y'all say, well, maybe this, this and that and third. It's like, I might not agree, I might not agree with y'all. I mean, I love y'all to death, but I don't always have to agree. I don't, but it's also, it's like, okay, it's over with, go on to the next day. It's like, it's just move on, because there's 100 more slams coming up, man. It's what I'm saying? It's 100 more. It's stuff that happened to me that I was mad, I was heated about, but it was like, I'm gonna make sure it don't, I've been heckled, what I'm saying, silently heckled, and it really, so now I know what to look at, watch out for, and it just makes me be able to just, like I said, man, judge crap. But I don't always agree. There's been times where it's like, hell nah, when you should have or could have been, when there's some, especially if you're in another city, and you can tell when this person is their favorite, and you was better than them. You was better than them, but they gave it. What I'm saying? Yeah, that pisses me off. That that's really, it's like I could have won this had I been in a whole other crowd, a whole other, what I'm saying? If y'all wasn't, but it's just like, what? It's cool. You take the good with the bad in this, man. You're gonna get cheated. You ain't always gonna get cheated, but again, you just take it and it's just like, oh well, you you go forward with no loss of enthusiasm. I know people that say, I'm done, I'm cool, I ain't going, and they mean that shit, and they never come back.
Mm-hmm.
I've never won first place in doo-wops, you know what I'm saying? I never, but you got to consider the other people I'll be going up against too, and what the judges are looking. Yeah, I might have had, I'm feeling like, man, this one right here, I'm gonna win, this and that. I done dropped poems, man, where I knew I done waited 3 months, I done got up here and dropped this damn, like, man, stuff happens. You have to be perfect, man. You got to go up there and you got to, you know what I'm saying? And I've got third place before and I got first place before. I mean, not first place, fourth place.
Yeah.
Or whatever. The time I got fourth place, I thought that was it. This is the one that I really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but,
I remember that one.
My point, I didn't drop no poem. I was really, you know what I'm saying? I was, but them judges thought and it's just like, I done been back every time since then.
Yeah.
That's one of the, you know what I'm saying? I love Cincinnati, man, and it wasn't Cincinnati's fault. It was whoever was judging at the time. But, it's just like, I'm just not one of them people where, y'all doing me like y'all did me like that. I ain't, because I'm going to come back. I'm going to, when Jordan didn't win his first, championship, it took him 7 years.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. About 7 years? It just, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it one day. I'm just going to, and I'm going to get it more than once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you spoke on the heckling incident. Was it, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, South Carolina, maybe?
I think it was South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How did you handle something like that? Like, because we measure by how we handle situations during adversity and things like that. How did you handle that situation in particular?
I handled it with some wisdom, because emotionally I wanted to, I wanted to do something to that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just what he did. It was how disrespectful it was. I had to, think real quick on, I'm not in my own state. I ain't in my own city.
Yeah.
I just, if I do this could, there's a number of things that can happen.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, so I really had to just, but it hurt me that somebody can do something, what they did. I don't even really want to get into what he did.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was just like, man, you go that far to try to mess somebody up to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just, and it was just disrespectful. It was like, you don't do that with no other man. It was just crazy, man. But I just, bit my tongue, man. I didn't even go say, I'm saying, I let it go.
Mm-hmm.
But it also taught me not to focus on no one person for two, I'm saying? If it happens again, I'll be able to turn my head, like, I'm saying, I'll be able to, I'm saying, I'll be able to deal with it much better. That was the first, and I'm pretty sure it might happen again with, whatever. Some people have their tactics or whatever, but I'll be able to deal with it, so.
You made a post asking poets about their opinions on this, and, I just want you to talk a little bit about that. Versus with the scores and
cumulative or not?
Yes, or standalone rounds.
Yeah.
So you ask poets for their opinion. I want to hear, how do you feel about slams that have their, because I think I feel like it's pros and cons to both.
It is.
With the standalone. So basically, the question is the cumulative scores where you gather first, second, third round score, and that's how you determine a winner, or the round by round score where basically you get a clean slate each round. So talk about which one you prefer and which one you've had the most success with.
Well, in Louisville, at K-Mac, Lance Newman, Mr. Spread Love, shout out to Mr. Lance Newman. He has it to where, the first 2 rounds are cumulative. Mm-hmm. Third round, standalone, you know what I'm saying? But I was just at Lipstick Wars, and that was cumulative all the way through. So I've been in, and here's the advantage to traveling to other cities and states, because everybody slams differently. When I was going to St. Louis earlier this year, they had up to like 20 or 22 poets at first. So their first round was 1 minute rounds, where they called it lightning round. So it's like, that's why I've been telling poets, you got to have 1 minute poems. You got to have 2. Second round could be second round is 2 minutes. You
Yeah.
know, Dallas got one coming up, and that's how they, first round 1 minute, second round. So, but it's like if you don't know that and you go somewhere slamming and, you thinking this whole time, every round was 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and they tell you, hey, look, okay, round it, you ain't even prepared. Now you got to cut, you got to dissect, or you ain't even prepared, you're not even ready for it or whatever. So it's just like, I know better now. I know that I have to have some 1 minute poems, some 2 minute poems, and whatever. But now, as far as the cumulative goes, it's been times where, let's just say at doo-wops, my first poem, I had the highest score one round, or I might have been second. Going into the second round, I probably didn't do as good. And then, the people that was in that round were higher than me. Now I don't even get a chance to go to the third round.
Yeah.
But if you would have added up my first score and then my second score, and if it was cumulative, it would have saved me and got me into, rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, for instance, Lipstick Wars, perfect example. It was cumulative all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
First round, Ari Lane and Truth from Cincinnati. I'm not Cincinnati, St. Louis. They both had a 29-8. They both had 29-8. I got a 29-7. And then other people, they kind of scored kind of low. You know what I'm saying? Not low, but not as high. It wasn't very high.
Yeah.
So so I'm only 1 point or whatever decimal behind Ari and Truth. Going into the second round, Ari goes, does her poem. Now keep in mind she had 29-8. This round she gets a 29-7. She went back one.
Mm-hmm.
Truth gets 29. He goes back 2. He gets 29-6. I scored perfect.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
So I'm up. Ahead of Ari. I'm up 2 or 3 or whatever. Truth. But then Lance and Coco Flo, they scored 30s as well, but they kind of scored lower. First round or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
even though they got, and then Simba, he scores a 30.
Yeah.
And so it was like, after my 30, it was like 3 or 4 more 30s. Like, right, they just started,
Yeah.
So, but it was like I said, their first scores in the beginning was kind of, so it was like, so then going in the third round, I go first, do my poem. I already added up what I already had from round 1, round 2. I added up everybody that I felt like it was a threat to me.
Yeah.
And what I needed to at least win this. So I said, I have to score at least a 29, nothing lower than that. I got that 29-9, and I added up my score. Even if they got 30s, no matter what they get, they can't catch up with me on. I knew I won after I added up my score. It was like, and I was telling, I was telling Gwen C out of Louisville. I told her, I said, Gwen, and I was calling Gwen intro, I said, man, I won. She's like, we'll see. I said, no, it ain't no we'll see. I said, I already added up the score. I know no matter what they get, they can't catch up to it. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? But it was like the realization, I'm up here like, man, people that I beat, wasn't no slouches, man. Ari ain't no slouch.
Yeah.
Coco ain't no slouch.
Yeah.
Lance ain't no, what I'm saying? It was just like, man, so it's like, I don't take that lightly at all, because them people ain't to be, you know what I'm saying? Ari didn't beat me more than once. He didn't beat me, you know what I'm saying? They big winners out here, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, so for me I know where I started at. You remember when you met, I was reading off my phone.
Yeah.
I ain't reading off my phone.
Nah,
no
you're
more.
not.
I don't do nothing, but, like I said, man, just people that I talk to, man, that be coaching me, man, that I be, you know what I'm saying? I watch people's videos, man. Black Chakra, you know what I'm saying, out of Baltimore. He be doing slam theory. I soak shit up, man. You know what I'm saying? Going to all these different slams. It's taught me, you can't be, I ain't the only dope poet out here, man. There's people out here, okay, how good it's somebody gunning for you. It's somebody, you just have to just be well-rounded. You got to have deep pockets, man, and it just might be somebody else's turn. Okay, how many you on a roll or whatever? I don't know, man. I like cumulative, because cumulative will save you. You can be 30, you can be like 30 your first round, 30 your second round, and then do 29-7 your third round, and lose. Because
Yeah.
the person you've been dragging people the whole 1, 2, and then they come and, you know, it might be three people that I did it. I got a 29-7 one time in Detroit. First poem, and it wasn't enough to get me to the second round. That was handed out 30, man.
That's crazy.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, when I got this 29-7, I'm like, I know I got, man, shit, they got to giving out 29-9 to the thing. It was like, oh, I said, man, what the, you know what I'm saying? So you got some crowds where, some judges where they really, you know, they don't be handing them 10s out there like that, man. They really, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you got other crowds where it's just like, they just throwing out. You know, they just giving them, you know what I'm saying, like it ain't nothing, man. So they both can be bad, you know what I'm saying?
Because the lipstick wars in particular, I was confused because when I'm looking at your scores that you're posting, and I hadn't seen, because I got on the phone with Doo-Wop. I'm like, I say, have you seen Nate's post? And she went to it, and we look, and we like, man, that ain't no way. You know, I was the
definitive winner.
Yeah.
I was the definitive winner. And here's another reason why cumulative is better. I was the definitive winner after round 1. They had a 4-way tie for second and third. You know what I'm saying?
It took for us to read Gwen C's post.
Yeah, the next day.
In order to understand, because I remember I was looking. I'm like, how did Nate win? And then how did they let these, you know, other scores be tied at 30? And so then when we read Gwen C's post, it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, see,
I had to wait 2 whole rounds. I had to wait while they still battle it out. 4th round, Coco Flo ends up winning. Yeah. So that made her second. So then, but Ari and what's his name? They had a tie for third, so they had to go another round.
Yeah, because I seen Simba, Ari, So I seen that, and then it made perfect sense. See, I wasn't hip, so, you know, she was explaining to me how that worked. Then I see you make the post about it, so I'm like, okay, cool.
That's how you know, with the cumulative. It's been time, I won't say to who, but it was somebody else earlier this year where I was winning. First round, I was like, second highest score. Second round, I had the highest score. Third round, me and this person, we tied 29. We both had a 29-4, and they was asked, you know, how y'all want to be? I want to go ahead and keep on, or y'all want to go ahead and split it. And instead of saying, well, we should just go ahead and add up all from every round, I wasn't thinking then at the time, but, you know, like I said, I'm still, you know, I could have just been like, well, just add up all the, you know, that we won't even have to do all that.
Right.
That could have, you know, they could have deaded it then, but, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I didn't think about it till I was driving on my way back home or whatever, but it was like, that's one reason why cumulative is good. You know, it take more, you know, it's rough for that cutthroat stuff. You got to have the right poems, and you really got to, you know what I'm saying, you just can't be playing, man. You just can't. So cumulative saves, you know, it's
For you, you know, you say you love hip hop so much, you know, and you got all of these different poems and everything. Why haven't you gone the route of becoming an author, or, you know, having spoken word music, streaming, and things of that sort?
Man, let me tell you, man. I live in Dayton, Ohio. Okay. You know, I don't know what it's. Poetry isn't taken as seriously there as it is. You know, they got 20 open mics here in Cincinnati, man. There ain't no weekly open mic in, you know, Dayton. There ain't no. I've tried. It's like the artists. We're just not taking it as I've tried. I've had, you know, over the years made CDs, pressed them, sold them. I didn't, you know, recently, you know, I've tried to, you know, there's people that I know that were got studios that, you know, they advertise and market that this is what they do as far as, you know, studio time and this and that and the third, you know, and the majority of them be, you know, it's just like, I got to chase you down and give you my money. It's this, that, you know, so it's just like, man. So then also, it's a couple of people I do work with now that I got to, it's just about, I'm still, you know, I haven't tackled the whole business side of it yet as far as, you know, because I got more than enough poems to put, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
I really want beats behind my stuff. So I've made posts about, who got beats, who this, that, and the third, and all that stuff. That would really fit my poetry. It don't really, have to be no hip hop type of, what I'm saying, but there's something that goes along with my poetry. So I can go out there and do something a cappella, and but it's just like it won't have that same appeal as if it has some, beat. So it's really about finding that marriage, finding somebody that, even if it looks like it might have to be somebody out of the state, out of the city, or whatever. But once I do that, that's when I just don't want to put just poetry on there, and then you don't, with no beats behind it. Now, as far as books is concerned, I do. I got my own. I've been, I got my name is Crack. This is not a what's the name? It's not a slam piece, but what I'm saying, I've used it in slam because I had to break the poem up or whatever. So I do my own books, man. I got a guy that I got a couple people that I do my own publishing. Brave Nate said it, publications, I got my own thing going on. So my books are 3 or 4 pages in length, but that's because they're one poem.
Got you.
I met a guy some years back. That's how he was, pushing. He didn't even have, digital art, nothing. It was just some words on his, whatever. And each one of his books he was selling was just one poem. Okay. And the way he was so good at it, the way that he pushed it, the way if you market it right, you push it right, and everything. I didn't want to put 10 and 20 poems in one book where I can make the same amount of money from just one poem. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and people, if depending on what poem they love the best, you got people that'll buy one book, or they might buy all, whatever I got with me. So I got, they did a number on us. That's a, good piece I've won slams with. Yeah. I'm a Thief, of course. Yeah. When I'm done, I'm done. Yeah. Now, what I do have, for the poems that I do have coming up, the books I got coming up, I already have the graphics. I already got them already done. It's just about getting them pressed and getting them printed up, man. So it's like I have about like 25, other, already ready to go, man. I just gotta so I just have to pour myself. I haven't, put my 100% into it as of right now, because like I said, I'm still, in between traveling, all that. That traveling, driving in the car. It's equivalent to flying. Like, you get jet lag. I got car lag, dude. Yeah. I be tired, man. Sometimes I come home, take a shower off the highway, coming from North Carolina, South Carolina, Detroit, whatever, going straight to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying? It's like I'm doing a lot, man. So I haven't, I don't got no team yet. I don't have the necessary. It's all me. So I'm still trying to figure it out, man. I want to be the next Ed Mabry. Okay. Ed Mabry got his, Yeah. he doing it. He's the ultimate out here right now, man. Shout out to Ed Mabry.
So, I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done. Was that piece inspired by something that you went through in real life?
Women, tell their stories. They can get on Facebook and tell the world about what a man took them through, why they done with him and all that. I've been on Facebook since 2009. I've read, whether they was right or whether, a lot of times they don't tell the whole story. Yeah. But you have people, they don't question her validity and her story, no nothing. Girl, you too good for him. I knew he was, this and the third. They don't even be knowing that, I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? If a man you get on social media and, you've been getting dragged in your relationship, but you don't tell your business like a woman would do. You're not allowed to get on there and tell the world what this woman, she cheated on you, she stole money from you, she didn't keep your kid. You're not allowed. You got to just, men, they don't, like I've seen that people, they do not care about our mental, and they don't care, mental wellness at all. It's just we got to suck up everything. Yeah. I ain't sucking. I might not go out here and tell but as a poem, I just put it out there. Like when I'm and I see people go back to the relationship that they swore and then they was done with. So that's what it mainly comes from. My thing is, when I'm done with you, It ain't no, ain't no spinning the block. Ain't no texting me, hey, big head, what you doing? How you been? And check.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta check up on me. I don't wanna, you know what I'm saying? Because if you leave a door open when you go into your next relationship, and then you got somebody, especially if it's somebody that had a soft spot in your heart for them or whatever, they can disrupt some things, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just respectful for the next person that you trying to vibe with. You trying to see what's up with them. You just want to. The door is just closed, but I turned it also into some on the comedy side.
Yeah.
It might not be as much comedy as my other ones, but it was a lot of. I just want people to know there are, all women ain't the best people to be in relationship. Where there's some women that women talk about each other. So it's like you said this and that about it. Why what I say about it got to be wrong? And no, I'm proving that. Even though I'm speaking the truth for a ton, you're still not allowed to, I'm saying? There's too many feminists out here, man. So I hate feminists. I really do. Oh, my goodness. They got so many excuses on why they do this, why they do that, whatever. So it's just like, man, I try to, put my spin on things, man. So it wasn't, well, you would think that I was talking about one female.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in multiple relationships in my lifetime. So each one of the things I'm talking about in that poem, I'm talking about different females. It just seemed like I'm talking about one person because somebody was like, why would you let somebody do that? I don't know. You see, it's like I got you all your feelings now because I'm not even talking about one person. I'm talking about multiple people.
Yeah.
Also just trying to bring some funny to the situation. That's all. So.
Yeah, because I definitely remember the first time I heard it, man. You had the crowd.
And I only did
rocking.
that. And when I did it at doo-wops, I read it off my phone. Then I had it memorized, but it wasn't polished yet.
Yeah.
I still, I want to go back and, it's just that I've been writing so much other stuff there.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, so it's just like, you got to bring your A game there. That point might be, some other slams where it, might not be as much competition, but it's just like, should I do it? I don't want to do it, and then I fuck around and be my only poem. You know what I'm saying? It's like you really have to decide. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I am going to end up doing it there because I did have some good results, but again, I went over my time and I was reading off my phone, and I had strep that day too. So if you even listen to it, you'd be like, man, I don't even sound the same. I had so many different things that was wrong with me that day, man.
Yeah.
But again, I'm so much more polished today than I was a year. It ain't even funny.
Growth,
and I still got it. Yeah, hell yeah. But that's from traveling and just taking it more serious, spending more time and perfecting my craft, man. And you really have to. Some people out here, you have to be prepared for. Some people out here that ain't playing, man. So
Well, I'm hoping that you add in I think it's called I'm a Snitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping you add that to the book collection because
that's
my favorite piece, man.
I got my hey, listen, Chorcana, said the same thing. Galaxy, they didn't. I recited that to them way back. Right. It was It was a month before the last you heard me do it at doo-wops or whatever.
Yeah,
but I had already had it prepared. But it's shortened because it's really for it's like I'm one of them things people where. If something keeps coming to them, to keep adding on to it. Now, what I will do is I'll edit it for a slam. But you got some slams where they allow you to go as long as you need to. You know what I'm saying? All slams, you got standard slams, and you got house slams.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Detroit, Joel Fluent Green, his slam that he got coming up, you got taking much time. Don't kill it. Don't go out there with 6 and 7 minutes, but it's not, you can go over 3:30 up to 4 minutes, 5, whatever, and you're not going to get penalized, whatever. So it's just like I have different versions of my, I have it ready. I might have it ready this week, man. It's just, it's possible.
Yeah.
But as far as the, pick and everything for it's already done, man. So it's coming. But I got something else for you, B, man. I got a list. I'm gonna send you a list of. I sent it in the group before. You probably didn't. I have a list of poems that I'm working on, man.
Okay.
A lot of them got hip hop names. My summer vacation. I got a few. Not only my summer vacation. A lot of them are cube titles, man.
Yeah,
I want to do my own. You know what I'm saying? Remake of. Who else? Some stuff is Biggie stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm working on a lot of things, man. But my approach is, you know, the fire got stirred up again, man, and you know what I'm saying, I know what's at stake out here. I just, you know, I'm not necessarily trying to be the best, because I just don't think that you can say not one person out here is the best, but I want to be the best I can be, and hopefully that's enough to, you know what I'm saying, as I'm growing, enough to, you know, it ain't all about slam, but I just want to just, you know, a lot of people say they started writing because of me, or I've helped people along, you know what I'm saying, but it's like, you know, man, we just all, I'm getting helped, and as I'm getting helped, I'm helping. I want to go out, I'll be telling you, let's go out to Vegas, man, let's go out to, you know, I want to do stuff, you know, it ain't all about me, man. I didn't take people in my car, transported them from city to city, state to state, you know what I'm saying, I be trying to do things as a group, as a whole, man, you know, so,
yeah,
you know,
I just seen you put that in the group.
Yeah, man,
what do you feel like as far as like creative community as a whole, whether that be you know, just writing poetry or participating in slams all over the country or hosting, you know, because like I mentioned earlier, you know, you was hosting a little bit either earlier this year, late last year,
last year.
Yeah, you was hosting a bit. So what has been, you know, like your favorite thing, or what do you feel like you've gotten the most out of since, you know, being in the creative community?
Man, the friendships, man, I can't stress that enough. That, you know, it's like I can stop slamming and doing poetry today, and I never, you know what I'm saying, but I would still go to, you know, but I still got them friends. I don't think some of y'all gonna stop being, you know what I'm saying, friends with me because I'm not slamming anymore. Usually, I know a lot of people that don't slam at all no more, or just, you know, they're good enough to, and they just don't, but we're still cool, we're still friends, we still, you know what I mean? Not only that, you know, just getting out of my own city, traveling, getting to see other walks of life, how they do stuff, how they live. It motivates me to do more, and, you know, just want to, you know, get out of this. I can tolerate my own city a little bit better because I done got away. I done woosah'd somewhere else. I come back now, it's like, now I can deal with y'all. Shoot, man, that's been the, you know, I don't know, man, just touching people's lives, man. When people, the stuff that people have came up and said to me, you know, after the slam, people in the crowd, you know, people tell me I'm their favorite. If I lost, I should have won, or, you know, it's just like, you know, we so hard on ourselves, man, and then when we give or get up on that stage and give our, you know, truth or whatever, and then for people that give us that nod and, you know, give us that, you know, verify that we are dope, and, you know, man, that it makes you want to keep going, man. It's like, okay, I ain't as bad as I thought I was. Like, somebody out here really does, you know.
Yeah.
You could have got a seven flat each round, but there's somebody here that still loved your poem, man, and still, you know, man, that spoke to me. So it's not always about winning.
Yeah.
I've posted some stuff on MySpace about, you know, it's about abortion or whatever, and this pastor told me that, you know, he read it at his church, man, and he said that some young lady had came up and repented because she was about to go get an abortion, man, and she changed her mind.
Wow.
You know, this was some years ago. I'll never forget that. You know, and just, you know, so the Brave Nate also, I do poetry to correct and convict, not so much condemn. I don't do no condemning at all. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean that I can't speak on, you know, what I feel is right, what I feel is wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not condemning you. You know, I'm not saying, y'all, you going to go to hell for sure. If you, I never, you know, I don't. But I can, you know, bring some correction. I can spark some type of, you know, if I can do that. Put something on your heart, put something on your mind. So just being able, it's a release, man.
When are you getting an Adidas endorsement?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna put that out there, man. I look at old pics over the years and how I dressed and I seen myself how I'm dressing now. Also, you know, I like Nike too. Don't get me wrong, but I look better in Adidas. I just feel, you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to set myself apart because, you know, it's almost like a uniform for me, man. People expect to see me in it. Why you got on Jordans, why you got on all that, I got on, you know, I'm old school, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is how I'm, you know, just like a soccer player, man. You know, I'm a little skinny dude, man, and, you know, So it's like I found my niche, and you know what I'm saying? I still do wear Nike every so often, but when I do it, it's almost like I feel bad. Like I ain't even got no endorsement with me, either one of them. But it's just like, man, you know, me and Micaiah, Milan, you know, we got this Adidas thing going on. We both be, you know, well, she's.
I seen her with the J's on.
Yeah, she's more. But she said, you know what I'm saying? But she's won some Adidas, so don't let her fool you. She won some Adidas stuff, man. But yeah, it's just like, you know, I can go anywhere, and why all y'all got on, you know, I got this on.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've only been wearing Adidas really strong for a little over a year. You know, you know what I'm saying, and it just, you know.
Yeah, because just about, I was going back and looking in my archives at like just the different pictures or videos that I've taken of you, and I'm like, man, every single time it has been certain time. Because I'm looking, I'm like, how much Adidas do we got? Because I'm looking at certain slams or open mics where I got pictures or videos of you, and I see you with like 2 or 3 different green Adidas, you know, jackets or hoodies or something.
Man,
I'm like,
I buy some of my stuff specifically for doo-wop stuff. Like I got stuff I ain't worn since last year that I'm waiting to, you know, I mean, shoes and I got whole outfits. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? I ain't wearing this until I go to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is why, you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, man. It's like I you know, take that serious, man. It's just, you know, taking it serious, man. But I am going to, you know, put it. I'm gonna send them a bunch of pictures. Look, man. I wear y'all stuff. I'll be all across the U.S. They go pics. They go prove. I'll do poetry, this and that. Maybe I can get something going with them, some type of something. You know, I want to start doing a documentary, man. I want to, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, just how you do with this, but, you know, with my phone and, you know, just, you know, little stuff with some of the friends that I slammed. Well, I said this last year. I still ain't did it, man, but I am going to get on it soon. But, yeah, I am going to put a bug in their ear, man, pursue it and see what they can, see what they'll do for me. They got billions and billions of dollars, man. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind.
I joke with you every time, man. When and it is like you said, when I see you in Nike, because about a week ago after you was heading to Vegas, and I seen you in Nike, I'm like, man, I'm like, oh, you done came over to the other side, you know. So I'm always, you know, I'm looking because I see you in so much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I got it's just I don't know. I like it. I like it. It just I like it. I like it better, man. I would. I like both. I mean, they like, yeah, but if I really had to make it, if I had an endorsement deal and I was if I can get free clothes, the money, and any kind of, man, I would, you know, I would give up the Jordans, man. I would give up the Vapor Max. I would, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Yeah. Man, I got like 27 pair of those, man. I got, you know, I got a whole bunch of, but I love them. But when I compare them to these and all the different, man, I mean, I gotta hurry up and get rich, man. I man, there's about 200 pair of shoes, and you know, Sambas and Gazelles I want, and you know, it's just I don't know, man. I just that's Adidas. It's more of a
man.
It's coming, man. You know, so.
I love it, man. You know, just the fact of your authenticity. When I look at you, when I think Brave Nate, I think funny. You know, I think Adidas, you know, I think all of these different things. I think, you know, because, like I said, traveling just all over. And I just like the fact that, you know, you're doing things your own way. I have enjoyed over the last year and a half really getting the opportunity to just see your growth, just to see how your improvement over time. And I can't wait, you know, for the next year and a half. Like you said, you know, this ain't going to be your only one. I need to get you on here just so you can, you know, endorse and talk about the books that you're doing and things of that sort, because I think it's unique. I don't know anybody that's doing things exactly the way Brave Nate is doing it. Like, even if they're doing, you putting a twist on it. And so, you know, that's something that I can say, man, I love seeing this. I love seeing it because it allows me, for the things that I'm doing, to think outside the box. It's like the worst you could do is it not go right, and you can adjust, you know, and so
that's exactly, you can make adjustments. It's been some places where I would be like, man, this slam or this spot wasn't as good as I thought it was going. You know, kind of at the time I felt like it was a waste of time. But you know, for the most part, it was like. But I still met some dope people there, and I got pics with people and this and that. So it was like, again, it wasn't. And you know, I got something out of it still. You know what I mean? So it's been sacrifice. Like I said, man, you know, being away from work, I'm losing money. You know, shoot, the money I put into it, this and that, and then I might not win, or it might have been just an open mic. You know, wasn't no money going in it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But it's just like I got to go on this stage, that stage, and they know me in other cities now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna come around to where, you know, it's like I tell Trocon all the time, if I tell y'all really where I see myself and where I'm going, what I'm trying to do with this is going to offend a lot of people. I've tried to, you know, it's going, you know, you can't be too proud of yourself. It seems like, man, I got high hopes for something. I want to do some things differently that never been done yet. I haven't seen it. You know, if it is going on, why ain't we all, you know, that's how I know. It's just, you know, I have some things I want to do, and it's like I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to just keep talking. I want to, when it manifests, when it start having, I want to be a key component in the sport, in the spoken word, the slam world, man. I want to be a help in some crazy ways. I won't say yet, but you know, when the success comes, when the money comes, then I'll be able to. I can't do it. I ain't got the money. You know what I'm saying? You know, I want to be able to, you know, Southern Fried. We got to wait a whole full year for that for, you know, Florida. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, man, I would love to see some another, you know, circuit, another, you know what I'm saying? Something, you know what I mean? It ain't enough of us out there going platinum, or, you know, we don't got the record deals like, you know. You know what I'm saying? It just. It's so much more that can be done in this, man, and I'm waiting to see it or be a part of it. So, you know.
Last two questions about slams, and it's really a two-part question. Out of all of the places that you slammed at, you know, all of the different slams that you've done, first part of the question is, what has been your favorite poetry slam thus far that you've done? And then the second part is, what is a poetry slam that you haven't done, that you had your eyes on, that you want to get in on? And I ask these questions because, like, for example, I've seen you say, hey, it's certain slams that's hard to get in. I know there was a slam that you just posted about, I think maybe be down in Florida, where it's sold out in a couple minutes or something like, you know, so yeah, man.
Sharana Eccentric Richardson down there at Pompano, Florida. Okay. Her, you know, her slam she got going on, like, boy, look, I think she's 7 years in now or something like that. But yeah, I'm thinking I had time to, cause you got, you know, some of these slams you gotta register. You could be $20, $30, some $50. Yeah. Hers was $150. And, you know, I heard people complaining about the registration is $30, $50. So I was like, well, $150, you know, I know that ain't gonna fill up quick. You know, man, for that bad boy, July 1st, filled up in 4 minutes. And, you know, more than one person was posting about it, and I wanted to go to that so bad. I said, God damn. I said, man, I just, you know. So I learned something there. When somebody say registration started, so if you really want to go that bad boy, you better be there at the stroke of midnight, and you know you better be ready. You can't be playing, because they can fill up. Somebody can be like, only 8 slots left, and then later on that day, all of them might be filled. Yeah. And it might, you know what I'm saying, it might not always take, you know, a whole week or two to, you know what I'm saying, for slots to fill up. So you gotta be, you know, you gotta be on it.
So is that the one that you had your eyes on?
No, that wasn't a big no, because there's so many other, you know what I'm saying. Now, I had my eyes on it, but it wasn't like I was, you know. Yeah. I'm on a waiting list, because I do believe somebody's going to pull out for whatever reason or another. So okay. As soon as they do, I got my 150 ready. You know, I got to get down into Florida. But as far as my favorite place to slam is, you know, Cincinnati's still been number one. Because I love the setup, how, you know, everything is just like, you know, the difference between doo-wops, poetry slam, and everybody else is everybody else do their stuff once a year. Hers is 4 times in the year.
5, yep.
Okay, 5.
Yep, we got March, May, July, September, November.
Okay, yeah, boom. So that's 5.
Yeah.
But again, that's where the fire got lit for me, and has continued to be. You know what I mean? So I would have to say that's number 1. This is not because I ain't saying that just because y'all family. It's just it's always fire. Cincinnati loved me like that. I love Cincinnati and it ain't even just her stuff. Also, who you said earlier, where I was hosting that in Cincinnati. Mo Poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Regal Rhythms.
Yeah, Regal Rhythms, man.
Yeah.
Them. My next spot would be when I was in Knoxville earlier this year. They had the it was a thing before Southern Fried, and it was in January. And just the setup, how big it was, how many people was there. It was like, man, that bad boy, that was coming almost to the very end, man. They just kept on. Halfway through it was already packed, and it just kept coming, And then, I just love the way that they, how they was with the judging, just everything, man. So I would say there. I also got to say North Carolina, LJ, Juan Bowens.
Okay.
I'm saying North Carolina, where Fayetteville, man, that was pretty jumping for me. Same thing. It was, a lot of people there. The judging was stiff. It was good. I didn't feel like it was no BS in it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I will also have to say I like Joel Fluent Greens up in Detroit. His slams are dope. Dope ass slams. A lot of people, ambiance, everything. He's just he's an excellent host.
Can't wait to get up to Detroit.
So he's an excellent host.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also have to go with some K-Mac down in Louisville. Some some are better than others. Depending on them. Charm City up in Baltimore. Charm City. That's the one I'm looking for. It's hard to, you got to hit some of their open mics first.
Yeah. I seen you.
You can't just go. I want to slant. No, you're gonna have to hit some of their open mics first and everything, and then it's almost like a. See, I ain't gonna say, I don't know. You just see if you're even good enough to slam again. They don't be playing up there in Baltimore, man. They ain't playing. You got to bring your A game up there. They slam. That's once every 4th. I think the last Thursday of every month or something. I don't know. You got to get on Charm City Slam on IG. Ken or something that he's one of the curators, host, excellent host, one of my favorite. Get on there and check it out or whatever. But that's one of the most. And I just got a recent invite to that one. That was an honor because it was like slam. I was trying to get on since last year, but I hit that open mic once, but they've seen me perform here and there. I just finally got the invite. It's just like, man, I ain't even slammed yet. And I feel like just being there. I look at their stuff every day, and who done slam? They got so much going on, man. They that venue, man. They ain't playing up there, man. They doing their thing definitely.
So you gonna be up there in August?
Yep, August 4th.
Okay, August 4th. All right.
August 4th. So
I'm be looking for them scores, man.
Well, yeah, man. Listen, look, I'm already trying to figure out, what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna, because like I said, it's one of them ones you get up there. It's just like it's one of the top ones, and I'm pretty sure there's some other ones coming along, man. But those the ones I've named, there have been some really good ones. St. Louis has a good slide. I went to one there also. It was smaller, but they were still coming out. You know what I'm saying? It was small, but it was packed. It was a lot of people in there. Okay. But I like intimacy. I like I like those more than the really big. Lipstick Wars was like, it was kind of overwhelming. Like, whoo, like God damn, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I was worried about the ambiance and how everything was going, but it was perfect. You know what I'm saying? The microphone, I always tap the microphone just to see kind of it gives off. So it was perfect, but I'm more so into doo-wops and that's smaller. Smaller.
Yeah, and I like when you say the intimacy. That's what makes me like open mics so much because it's a smaller space, because it seems like, okay, you know, hey, we all in love with the same art here, the same art form, and so we all able to, you know, sit down. It really reminded me of what you did for your birthday this past year. You know, when you kind of had the space or whatever, and you know, all of the people who, you know, really done, you know, played a part, you know, with you and everything. You had them in the building. It was a few people missing.
It was good. You know, we all got things we got going on, but
it was still, just that space, man. You know, just people coming up and doing poetry, man. You know, you had Jay Kelly in the house. You know, Nick in the house. Trokan, little bit there.
Me, people that I love. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, man,
and so I like that kind of atmosphere, man. You know
how big this is right here. A spot double the size of this is perfect. If you can get anywhere from 60 to 80 people in the little, you know what I'm saying? And when it's them, that's the shit to me, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. All I need is enough space for 60 to 80 people. Shoot, 40 to 60 for real. You know what I'm saying? Done upright. It look, you know what I'm saying? It's just like Somerset and over there in Cincinnati, Somerset with Brianna and you know, just like, man, I love Somerset. When they got some nights when it's awesome. You know? So
I love nostalgia too.
Nostalgia.
Shout out to nostalgia. So switching gears a bit, man, because it's some things, you know, I really want to ask you about. So, you know, we talk a lot of basketball and things of that sort, man. What was your first impression when you saw Michael Jordan play ball?
I saw Michael Jordan play ball in North Carolina. See, these people, all they know is Bulls. This Bulls, you know what I mean? You know, I was sitting up there watching the game with, you know, my stepdad, and you know, I watched a lot of as a child, man, 6 years old, and when I look back at them dates and when them games, I'm like, damn, I was 6. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, you know, but still, I was just, you know, he only just made the one shot. He wasn't even a star on that team. So didn't nobody know that what he was gonna be.
I think James Worthy was
James Worthy, he was the man. You know, so you know, he just hit a key, you know. But like he said, that lit a fire in him when he, you know, then the next year, you know, boom. Next couple of years he was, but I wouldn't have sold Jordan at first still, because I was still a Dr. J fan.
Okay.
I was, you know, he was doing this, he was doing stuff that, you know, I was just still so young. I hadn't quite, you know. And then after Dr. J was gone, then I switched gears and it was Magic, you know, the Lakers. I was a Laker, you know what I'm saying? I was still, it took a little minute. When the Lakers played the Bulls, I wanted the Lakers to win. I wasn't, you know. Then after he was gone, Jordan had to earn my respect, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, he was doing what he did, but it was just like he still had to. And then after a while, it was just like, it's just a no-brainer. Like, man, he's just, you know, it's just, what else do you want? You know, you can do everything in the world of this and that. Like, what else you wanted to do until you realize that, you know, it is what it is. I seen his trials, and you know what I'm saying, how many times he had to keep going through, you know what I'm saying, the Celtics couldn't beat them at first, then he couldn't beat you know, Detroit. All he had to go, you know, it was just like, man, you talking about somebody that was grinding, and what, you know, they wasn't snatching people from other teams. They wasn't doing none of that stuff, man. They just kept on just getting better. So it was just his grind, man, and me seeing, you know, watching him over the years lose, and then it went from lose to win, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it was just the grind, man. It was the respect. It was the respect. The fundamentals, you know, it wasn't just all about the, you know, at first it was that, and it just, you know, he just kept evolving, man. So,
do you remember what your first pair of Jordans was?
I didn't get Jordans when I was a kid. I ain't have not one pair of Jordans when I was a kid. I didn't start getting Jordans, I was older, and I can't even, no, I don't. Even as older, you know, I was closer to, oh, man. Dude, I was closer to 30 years old before I got my first pair of Jordans, man. I was buying other, you know, I was Air Force Ones guy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then flights and, you know, stuff like that. You know, I was more so. It was a time where I wore Air Force. Boy, listen, my Air Force One game
it hurt
was strong.
me. It hurt me, man, about Air Force Ones, man, just because of the crease.
$40. Yeah, but we wasn't thinking about that back then. We were not thinking about, you know what I'm saying? We so conscious now about stupid, you know what I'm saying? But back then it wasn't. That was the last thing we were thinking. It was $40. I remember when they went from $4 to $65. We was grabbing it. We went up 25. I was like, damn, $65. Like, you know, then that was late 90s when they was $65, man. So you know,
because people weren't really, to be honest with you, and I'm just telling you from my standpoint, I didn't really see Forces get hot until Nelly released the Air Force One song.
He definitely put a rocket booster on them. Don't get me wrong.
Because me growing up, what I remember everybody wearing as a youth, like, and I'm talking, you know, between 1st and 8th grade, I remember, because the first pair of Jordans I remember personally was probably I remember having, maybe it was like the Jordan 9s, maybe. Them the first ones I probably remember having myself. But I know, like, my parents, like, they would buy me Jordans and stuff like that. The first pair I definitely remember off the top of my head having was 12s, and they was white. It was a majority white shoe, and it had the blue on the sides. Like, I don't remember what the name of them are, but I remember having them, and then I remember having
French
the black.
blue.
The French blue, and then I remember having the flu game, the red, the black and red 12s. Like, that was the first one, and I had them in 1st grade. That was the first Jordans I remember having, man.
Boy, getting Jordans when I was a kid was unthinkable.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is, you know, I was thankful to have them, because when I was a kid, that's all we, you know, I remember on Sunday afternoons, you know, watching the game with my dad, watching the Bulls play. You know, that's what I remember doing as a kid. So, you know, that's why I love debating so much. Man, hey, listen, I love LeBron. And me personally, you know, I feel like, hey, you know, LeBron been my favorite player. My dad introduced me, you know, to you know, watching LeBron when I was like in 7th or 8th grade. You know, he's in high school. And, you know, and of course, with us being from Ohio, you know, everything we hear, man, LeBron, like, and I'm thinking, like, man, what? So my dad, you know, showing me these tapes, and he like, hey, LeBron. So, you know, so I grew up watching LeBron, and I caught Jordan on like the tail end, because I was born in 90. So when I really started watching basketball, it was like 96, 97, 98, the last three-peat. Last three-peat. So, but I still, you know, remember, like, when I was a kid, man, I'm gonna tell a quick story, man. I'm gonna tell a quick story. When I was 6 years old, I was in the 1st grade. I wanted a ball head. As a 6-year-old, man. And I remember, my memory good, I remember going to the barbershop and literally crying tears because my mom wouldn't let me get a bald head. And I'm like, man, I want a bald head so bad because I want to be like Michael Jordan. And so she called my dad, like, he trying to talk me out of it. And then finally, you know, it wasn't no talking me out of it. I said, I don't care. I got the Jordans. I had the Black Bulls jersey.
Like a
I'm like,
boy.
Hey,
boy,
listen, man. My dad finally was like, hey, let him do it. I went to school. I didn't care what nobody said. I didn't care. I didn't care. That's how huge it was. And that's why, like, when you say, like, hey, man, Michael Jordan, man, he the greatest player. When I think back to stuff like that, to where it's like, man, ain't no way, like, with LeBron, with his hair, it ain't no way I'm going to get my hair cut, you know, like that, you know, to have a man. But I wanted a bald head as a kid, man. I wanted a bald head. So
that's called impact, man.
Yeah, that's the role he played, man. But
I be watching just old clips and stuff, and a lot of it's like, man, he does. I mean, bro, he does impossible, like, he do video game stuff, man.
Yeah.
Just, you know, he just can't nobody stuff. He still has the highest vertical.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Well, you know, like we were speaking on shoes and stuff like that. How did you become the plug? Cause I see you, man. You be like you said, man, with the Hustle Simmons, man. It's like I see you posting outfits. You know, I see you with the shoes and stuff. It's been a couple times, man. I done hit you up like, hey, man, you got this shoe, that shoe.
Yeah.
You know, how did you become the plug, man?
Man, I became the plug, you know, well, one of them anyway, but more, you know, especially even more famous because how, you know, I even go about it. But I was in my story and scrolling through my story, and one of my friends had some shoes that, you know, she was selling or whatever was pushing, and, you know, normal question is, are they real? She's like, yeah, you know, we're real friends, so I didn't have no reason not to believe her. But they were shoes that you really couldn't get no more. They was Jordan. That, you know how sometimes when they gone, or now you got to go over to GOAT or StockX or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So she was, you know, but she was selling them cheaper. So I was like, you know, that's where the skepticism came in at. So anyway, ordered a pair from them, and this was during the pandemic. Ordered a pair to see if they was real. I know what real shoes look like, feel like, all that shit. And they came in, I'm looking at them and, okay, yeah, these legit. Ordered another pair, same thing. Then I ordered my girlfriend at the time, I ordered her a pair. You know, I was on the phone, I just picked my girlfriend up, I'm on the phone with her, you know what I'm saying, the shoes came in, and I'm like, man, shoot, you need to, I said, you need to put me on, man. I said, man, I'll be out here killing it. You know, I was joking, but I was for real.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what? She said, I'm going to hit my person up and I'm going to see, you know, what they say about it. She said, because, yeah, I know you can make a killing and, you know, this and that. You'd be better at it than I would. And, you know, she said, I'll get back with you. She hit me up later on that night. And then, you know, she gave me, you know, and I had to plug for myself for about still some weeks before I even, you know, it was like, even after all that, I still was just, you know, skeptical myself. I had already ordered 3 pair. You know, I posted some of the ones that I had already ordered.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had them in my story, had them on my page, and one person said, can you order me a pair? I'm like, bing. I'm like, yeah, you know, I was like, yeah, it wouldn't be no problem. How long it take? How long, you know, this and the third. We got all that out the way. 2 people ordered with me. They came in. My thing was to show people, that future people, that, you know, you will get your shit. You know, this person got their shit. You know, here go a picture, a little short little video.
Mm-hmm.
Once I posted that stuff, boy, it took off. Boy, it was almost like I was giving the shoes. I was ordering, man. Yeah, I was ordering so many shoes for people, man. The barbershop was the pickup place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or, you know what I'm saying, you know, I wouldn't even have them sent to them unless you lived out of town. And it just went from there, man. It just, you know, I kept at it. One thing led to another. Went from that to then I got the plug for the joggers, the Nike joggers.
Yeah.
And I got the plug for the AirPods. I got the plug for the mini Nintendos,
man.
The Nike socks. It was just, you know, I'm having to, you know, put my, you know, it's an investment, man. And, you know what I'm saying? It was just, you know, taking a chance on yourself. But I market hard. I'm pushing this shit every day.
Mm-hmm.
All day I'm getting my friends to push it for me. I'm getting my kids to push it for me. I'm getting, hey man, can you push this, you know, because I want to reach people that ain't on my, you know what I mean? So it's just, you know, and that's been the main thing that fund me. Leaving, going back and forth, and doing the thing, you know what I'm saying, outside of me cutting hair, man. I'm not doing all this shit off just haircut, man. You know, I cut hair less because of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that changed my financial life, man, tremendously. You know,
Final question, man. I seen you do a live video about this, but, you know, it's a question that, you know, I've always had since I seen. How many total kids do you have? Because I done heard that you done been, you done Oprah, you done been asked.
Not Oprah, it was what's the name? Ayana fixed my life.
Oh, okay, yeah. When you asked to do like a reality show or something like that?
I was a couple of times, man, but stuff didn't fall through because of the parties involved, aka some of the moms didn't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they was willing to, you know, like had we had done that, we would all be millionaires right now. These are the people that was doing Jersey Shore and, you know, a couple of other, you know, they was already legit.
Yeah.
You know, we would be all, you know what I'm saying, and they didn't fall through on the end, you know, they didn't want to, you know, whatever. Some, you know, so it was just like, you know, and they wanted, you know, to be a majority of, you know, it just, yeah, a couple times. So, you know, we just wasn't meant to be, man. You know, if it would have been meant to be, it would have happened. But as far as like what me,
just total.
well, I was thinking about another question. I was thinking about something else. But as far as with my kids, I have, and when I say kids, they're not kids anymore. Like majority of my kids are grown, man. You know what I'm saying? But I have 33 total. So I got 17. That one of my oldest daughter is passed. Yeah, she's gone. Yeah. And then 16 boys. So I have 8 children with 1 woman. And then I have 2 boys with 1 woman. 2 girls with 1 woman, and a boy and a girl, and a boy and a girl. So 16, 25 different women. Okay. And then after that, the rest are single. So, you know, one lives with me. Yeah, but the majority, you know, my daughters, man, a lot of them, they either college graduates or they finishing up, or, you know what I'm saying, their career. You know, my sons, one of them is in the Navy. You know, I got a son finishing up barber college. You know, other ones is working. You know, everybody, you know. So it's just, you know, we spread, we you know, we out here, man.
Yeah, cause I be seeing your videos, man, with your kids, you know, and fatherhood is big to me, you know. Yeah. So it don't matter. It don't matter how many kids you got, man. It's just the fact taking care of them. Well,
it shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't matter, you know, because, you know, world like to put stipulations on things. They like to, I was wild, man. I was living like a rapper, a rock star. You know, I was a point of time when you know, I don't want people to get on here and to think, you know, people are going to say what they're going to say. You know, it don't matter to me. But the bottom line is, you know, I've always took accountability for my kids, man. You know, if I was, you know, I had some kids' moms that played the keep away game, and then, you know, I got to the point where I couldn't worry about that no more. You know, you can only go to court so many times with nothing being done for you. Be like, you know what? What's gonna happen is gonna happen. I just focused on who I was allowed to, you know what I'm saying, be a father to, and that's just how it's been. That's all you can do. So I do more than you know, I do what I'm supposed to do. I feel, you know what I'm saying. And anybody, I don't feel like I have to make a video or I gotta show y'all what you know. I do my thing on the father side of things, man, and you know, it is what it is, man. So,
are you satisfied with what we've covered today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I pretty much knew it was all gonna circle around, and you know, where it was all going, you know. So it ain't really too much that you know. We didn't turn over most stones, I would think so, you know.
Okay. Well, with season 2, what I do is, you know, I wanted to do something different this season, and at the end have my guests play the interviewer and ask me one question.
So, do you see yourself ever getting in a slam?
Man, I get asked that question a lot. You know, I get asked that question.
You've been around it. You see it. You know, you know, it's just like, just once, just to, you know what I'm saying. You do got some slam pieces, bro, or that could, you know.
Yeah, I mean, cause like Zeta done asked me, like she like, man, I feel like, you know, with the way you write, you should get in the slam, like. But for me, it's never been an aspiration of mine. I have thought about it. You know, once or twice. I've definitely thought about it because I can think of some pieces that I've written or that I've put music behind and everything, and I felt like, yeah, I could perform this in a slam, but it's never been anything that I'm like, yeah, I wanna do this on a high level because, like you said, I've been around it. I see the work that goes into it. I see the dedication that goes into it. And it's not something, you know how we talk about Michael Jordan and how you can see somebody doing something at such a high level and they can make it look easy.
Right.
For me, that's how I feel about Slam. I see some of my peers, you know, including yourself, that's doing this and that's out here and everything. And in my mind, I'm like, man, if I memorize this piece and if I do it, you know, I may be able to get, but it's so much more that goes into slamming. And sometimes y'all could be doing it on such a high level that y'all do make it look easy. Even though I know it's not an easy thing, but y'all can make it look, you can have your piece down packed and get up there and forget, you know, you can forget the whole piece, you know. So yeah, I know it's not as easy, and it's not something that I've completely closed the door, like, man, I ain't never doing that, but it's just never been something that I've been like, man, you know what, I'm going to practice real hard and get into this slam. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but
there's plenty of slams out here, you know, smaller ones where you ain't got the, you know, where, you know, they just, or, you know, I mean, at least open mics, hitting some open mics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just going up there doing 2 pieces, man.
Yeah.
And maybe the slam bug is real, bro.
Yeah.
It bites you, boys, you know.
Hey, I see how that is, and for me, I be wanting to, you know, because a lot of people ask me, they're like, man, you know, I wish you had more open mics, but it's like with my schedule with my kids and everything like that, you know, at this very moment, it's just not something that I'm able to do. I want to, you know, plan to do it, and that's why I feel like God put me in a position that I'm in, you know, in the season that I'm in. I'm able to do certain things, other things I'm not able to do. I know this year been completely different than last year. You know, next year going to be completely different. So, you know, I don't know what's in my future. I don't know what God got in store for me, but, you know, definitely a great question. Definitely enjoyed you on today.
Yes,
let people know where you are on social media.
On social media, on Instagram, I don't know what the problem is on my Instagram page. Is you can request me. It's not letting me accept people's requests. I don't know. I got to look into that, man. But you can still interact. You know, once you're requested, you know, you on my page, you can comment. You can this and that and the third. And the only problem would be is if your page was locked and, you know, it was private or whatever. Mm-hmm. But on Facebook, I'm under Nathaniel Real Smith, Real Smith, one word, Smith. Same thing on the TikTok. I'm under Braid. Let me see what I'm on Braid now. I keep on forgetting what I'm on. I'm under that, man. It's like trying to you know, keep up with all these things, man. Yeah. It's a lot, dude. Brave Nate the Great. Mm-hmm. Brave Nate the Great on TikTok. So I post on there pretty regularly, but more so between my Facebook page and Instagram. I'm on Twitter also, but I don't really, you know, I ain't really got on there yet, you know, as far as, you know, soon it'll happen.
And then, well, where can people catch you next?
True. I'm gonna be up at this week. I will be at Half a Stack Slam Saturday. I'm not gonna be slamming at Doo-Wops this week. I had to make, and reason for that being is I have some newer poems and one of my older poems. Whereas, like I said, he's not doing the standard slam. I want to be able to do these poems in their entirety. You know what I'm saying?
This is the one where you could put, it's not a time limit?
Yeah, no time limit.
Got you.
And, you know, I had to, you know, plus I gotta, you know, I wanted to be able to do them poems. I want to go up there and I just, you know, give myself a break. I've been hitting Doo-Wops nonstop since last year. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that was a hard decision, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna make them miss me, man. I'm gonna give them a chance to miss me. I'm coming back, you know. It was a time or two of at Half a Stack where I felt like I should have won, or I got a raw deal, and I'm going up there on one, you know, this go around, and then I'm finishing out the rest of this year at Doo-Wop. So
Yeah,
that's
we
home.
we
That's
definitely
home,
gonna
man.
miss you this weekend,
Oh
man.
yeah, I mean,
so.
I've been even thinking like, man, maybe I should just. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I. You know
No,
what I'm
hey,
saying?
we catch you in September, man.
Yeah,
but...
definitely. And when I come back in September, boy, listen, I might do a whole nother. I got some. Yeah, instead of sharing stuff and it's gonna be where I ain't heard it yet.
Okay.
It's going. I got a bag, man. I'm working on my approach to this shit is totally different now, man. My work ethic, my all that, everything, man. So I'm aiming to please, man. I'm aiming to I'm going for it, man. That's you gonna see.
All
Put you
right,
like
hey.
that.
Looking forward to it. And y'all make sure y'all tap in with Brave Nate, such a dope man, doing his poetry out here, barbering. He the plug, he just got his hands in everything, man. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming next. This has been the Mic Drop with B. Anderson, and we are out.
Peace.
Tap in with me.